Hey Jodi, so wow, this is September the 30th, right? Saturday, September the 30th.
Yep.
I want to ask you something. Thank you for coming over, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I was shocked when I saw that Brian Kinter said that your case was dismissed. Your attorney was Karen Taylor, is that right?
Right. Karen Taylor, Des Moines.
Right, because I mean, I know I wrote to her, I know that other people did. I cannot believe that your case was dismissed. Tell me what happened.
What happened is I had a meeting with her actually Wednesday, and we were going through court strategy. And I actually told her I thought it'd be dismissed, and Karen Taylor said no way. She didn't believe it was going to be dismissed. We had a pretrial conference on the phone, and so it was the judge, Rachel Seymour, the guardian ad litem, my ex's attorney, and Karen Taylor, my attorney, and my ADA advocate was in the room while I'm on the phone.
By the way, before you go on, can I just say something?
Yeah.
I wrote to Karen Taylor, and she wrote back to me.
Right.
And I don't know.
She wrote back to everybody.
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought she was outstanding. Karen Taylor, thank you for what you did. I don't know. I've never met you, but the fact that you responded as quickly as you did and everything, and you wrote directly to me, it was wonderful to see that. But anyway, go ahead,
Outstanding,
Jodi.
yes. So Karen wanted me to be there in person, but I couldn't for that part. So I thought it went pretty well, the pretrial conference, and the guardian ad litem immediately said, I want to file a motion to dismiss this. And the opposing counsel, Christopher Kemp, said he wanted to file a motion to dismiss. I thought this is double jeopardy because 3 weeks prior they came in and said they wanted to file a motion to dismiss. The judge said she would hear the case. All I had to prove, this is a FINA case.
Okay, so tell first off, who was the judge?
The judge is Rachel Seymour.
Okay, and
Polk County, Iowa.
Okay, and tell me what FINA means for any.
FINA is Families in Need of Assistance. So
Okay.
there's a CHINA, which is Children in Need of Assistance. FINA is Families in Need of Assistance, and only a parent or a child can file this in juvenile court.
Okay.
It may be called something different in other states.
Okay.
But all you have to prove to have it be heard is that there's a breakdown of the relationship between the parent and the child.
Okay. Now, how does this get funded? Is this funded with?
Funding with Title IV-B, like boys.
So you're talking about more Social Security funds?
Yes.
Okay. Social Security gets their fingers into everything, don't they? They just use Social
This
Security.
one's actually for some good.
It's for some good, I know, versus
good.
stealing kids and everything else.
Right.
But this one is actually for some good. Okay, continue on.
So the Title IV-B funding is for the FINA or the CHINA. And the guardian ad litem, who is Nicole Garbus, Garbis Nolan. She's very well known in Des Moines, Iowa as being evil, and she works for Youth Law Center of Des Moines, Iowa. Okay, she's been responsible for several parents' removal of children that I know, people that I know of,
Right.
and that are law-abiding parents. So she said she wanted to file a motion to dismiss during that pretrial conference, and stated that my children adamantly hate me, and this is a moot point to do this hearing.
So how did she come up with that the children adamantly hate you? I
She
mean,
said
isn't it true? Now, let me just ask a quick question
Okay.
here. I thought that didn't they just send you some messages recently?
Right. I just got birthday messages from both of my twins.
And your birthday was?
August 24th.
Well, happy birthday to
Thank
you.
you.
We're a month late, but they both sent you happy birthday messages.
Happy birthday. One of
Okay.
them said, happy birthday, love you, Mom. The other one was, happy birthday, hope you did something good for yourself today. Love you, Mom.
And did your son send anything to you? Any type of
Nothing
message?
from my son, nothing from my older daughter.
Okay, but you have these two daughters, and they've just sent you two messages saying they love you, but this guardian ad litem, and her name again is?
Nicole Garbus Nolan.
Okay, you know, I already don't like her. Says that they hate you.
They hate me.
Okay, go ahead,
They hate me,
continue.
so it's a moot point to move on with the FINA.
Okay.
Well, Judge Rachel Seymour says, well, I think that's why we're here. We're now proving that there's a breakdown of the relationship. So
Right.
she basically proved my point for me.
Right.
Okay, so the judge decided at that time, that was while I was in that pretrial, that was a pretrial conference I was in.
Okay.
Then she did it again afterwards, after it was already decided that this was going to be heard on September 1st.
Okay.
Okay, so a few weeks later, here we are at a pretrial conference again.
Okay.
This time over the phone as I'm driving from D.C.
How many pretrial conferences do you have?
This is 2 now.
Okay. I mean,
For the same.
Okay, for the same thing. Okay. Well,
So
let's try a second way.
I call this double jeopardy.
Yeah,
and
gotcha.
they're filing a motion to dismiss it.
Again.
For the same thing.
Yeah.
And so I don't.
By the way, I don't think people realize how corrupt this whole system is unless they've gone through it, but continue.
Yeah. So now she's on the pretrial conference. She's on the phone or whatever. And in a pretrial conference, I got to make sure everyone knows this. In the state of Iowa, there is no court reporter for a pretrial conference.
Okay.
But when you walk in, don't let them bully you. You can get a court reporter.
Okay.
So I informed my attorney via email, you do not speak unless there's a court reporter.
Okay.
Zip your lip, don't speak. And I'm going to write to the coordinator, to say she doesn't speak. Okay, so I did that. I had ADA accommodations already filled out, like a piece of paper, sent to the court administrator that says the judge and everybody else is not supposed to be confrontational to me.
Right.
Because the PTSD-like symptoms that I have, the triggers I get from the legal abuse syndrome,
Right.
going through the court and the lies that keep happening, that I get breaks. So people, if they don't know that, they need to know. Get an ADA advocate. It can be anyone. They don't have to be certified.
Okay.
And get some ADA accommodations. So if people are looking for someone like that, that's Dr. Karen Huffer.
Okay.
Just look up legal abuse syndrome.
Okay.
If you're in Iowa, Melissa Martin is now the first certified ADA advocate.
Congratulations, Melissa.
Yeah,
I know you via Facebook.
Another alienated mom.
Yes,
Yep.
I know.
So we had the accommodations. I told the coordinator, my accommodations I just emailed you again so that you cannot say you never received them, even though they were in 2 weeks prior, because I know their game. And so I called back and she says, okay, we're ready to put you on the phone. I had Lara Thompson on the phone with me,
Okay.
because we can do that. You can record. You can
Oh, you talking about Laura from?
Colorado.
Oh, okay.
I put her on the phone as well. And
Laura,
they
I'm
know
glad
it-
that you were
now
there
they
too.
know it now.
Good.
But you can record in Iowa. It's a one-party state, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Good.
So I had Laura Thompson listening in, and then Melissa Martin was in the room.
Okay.
I'm on the phone.
At least you had some good people on your
Yep.
side.
So, yeah. And so they go ahead with this, saying the motion to dismiss and all this. And then Nicole Garbus Nolan starts in with, Jodi will not be happy with any court, any judge, any lawyer, any guardian ad litem, and no matter what happens, no matter what the outcome is, Jodi would be upset with them because she hates us all.
Okay.
And I said, I need to interject, and thank God I have the ADA accommodations, and most judges would say, no, you have an attorney sitting here.
Yeah.
She said, go ahead, Miss Mueller. And I said, she's trying to prejudice you against me by saying this. She doesn't know me. She's never met me, other than at the pretrial conference a few weeks ago.
Amazing how she's omniscient and like God.
All
huh?
like that. And I just stood with Judge Navarez, the judge from Tarrant County, Texas,
Okay.
Fort Worth, brought him a Kit Kat bar as a joke, because that's his favorite, and he's the one that sent my jurisdiction to Iowa.
Okay.
But now he's figured out the lies and the corruption of the Tarrant County lawyer. Okay, so he's on my side. He even, after he researched Parental Alienation, he's written an article for a law seminar now.
Well, that's good.
because
That's good.
of, my
Because of
stuff.
your case, yeah.
So she doesn't know any of this, and so she's prejudicing me, or the judge against me.
The judge against
already.
you, or trying to.
So I interjected that, and then Karen Taylor, thank God, interjected as well. And she said, this is exactly why we're filing a motion to recuse the guardian ad litem, because that was already filled out.
Right.
She says her biased opinion against my client, and there's no way she can look out for the best interests of these twins, because she already hates the mother. She's never asked to meet the mother.
Right.
She says the girls hate the mother, and that's not the truth.
Right.
She never even found out that one of the daughters has stated that she's suicidal. And the judge at the previous pretrial conference, same judge, said, why do you not know this? Okay.
Right.
Wasn't told this.
Well, yeah. I mean, how she can be representing the best interest of the children
Right.
and not know how severe this crisis has become in their lives.
Right.
That this is inexcusable.
And her response was, well, I didn't know, but I guess I could ask her about it. That was her response.
hello.
That's on transcript,
Yes.
by the way.
Do you have a copy of the
I
transcript?
do. Yes, Karen
Please-
has it.
I would love to see it as well.
And then the Judge Seymour asked my ex at the time, in the one I was in there, in person, did you know about the daughter's suicide ideation? He goes, oh no, this is the first I've heard of it. And I went, huh. And the judge said, let the court reflect that the plaintiff is laughing. I said, I'm not laughing. I went, huh. Because in my head, Jeff, I'm thinking, wait a minute. 3 weeks prior, I was at an emergency ex parte with Judge Lauber, and my ex stated that he drove my daughter to a hospital and she spent 3 or 4 nights there.
Now, this hospital, was it specifically designed to...
It's for mental health.
It's for mental health. So let me get this right so that we all understand. Your ex-husband stated on the record before a judge that he drove your daughter to a place that she was committed in there for mental health. So he really knew what was going on, but he now told the other judge, I had no idea.
I had no idea. This is out of nowhere.
Okay. What's she talking about? It's surprising to me.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Got
So
it.
I just went, because in my mind I'm thinking,
You've got to be kidding me.
I will get him on this,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to divulge
Yeah.
because there's my ace in the hole
Right.
for later
Right.
for the perjury. And, I might as well be saying it now because it's dismissed, right?
Right.
So anyway, now here we are at the pretrial conference via the phone. And the guardian ad litem's pulling this again, saying the girls don't like her. And then she said, Jodi wrote me a letter and said, I'm not going by my oath of office and I'm not abiding by the Constitution. I've never written her a letter.
Well, let me just say something, Jodi. Probably even had you written her a letter, you probably would have been accurate had you written her that letter. But I understand you didn't write her that letter.
Right. I didn't write her the letter.
Yeah.
In actuality, Miss Laura Thompson has been helping as my mediator
Okay.
and writing letters. Okay?
Good.
So,
Hi, Laura.
Nicole Garbus Nolan states, I don't have to abide by the Constitution.
Is this in the transcript?
Yes, it should be. I've
Unreal.
not been able to read this yet, but yeah.
Okay, good.
Well, actually, this is one, Jeff, that hasn't even been transcribed yet.
Okay,
so
well,
it better be.
Please,
because she did say it.
Please make sure we get a copy of this.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow. I'm shocked, and I'll have to pay for another transcript, but this one's going to be well worth it.
So how much? You know what? I may even help you buy it.
That'd be great, because I'm like negative.
Okay, go ahead.
So they're usually for about that amount of time. They're about $100 maybe. You have to pay $40 for one that doesn't
Listen,
help.
if it is $100, I will buy it.
Okay.
My transfer cost me $1,200.
Oh no, this won't be, because
Okay.
this was just a brief.
Okay, good.
My other transcript for a 3-day hearing was $1,526. And then that court reporter left out part of my transcript that was appealable.
How convenient. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, so now, Christopher Kemp, the opposing counsel, also states they want to do a motion to dismiss. His reason? Jodi didn't put in remedy of relief in her petition, basically about the therapy that the girls could get. So Karen Taylor steps in and said, correct, but Jodi's not an attorney, and Jodi also researched that for a FINA case, you do not have to put a remedy of relief in. You just have to state that there's a breakdown of the relationship and that there is funding available.
Okay.
I don't have to find it, but I just say it is. And it says something like to the effect of the courts do have the funding. It already says that in the statute.
Okay.
So sometime I'll get you the number of the statute.
Absolutely.
And everyone can look it up.
Absolutely.
So she stated, I amended Jodi's petition as her court-appointed attorney because, previously at my pretrial that I was at personally was Penny Reimer.
Okay.
And who quit that day.
Okay, so she was your attorney and she quit on you.
She quit on me.
And that's when you got Karen Taylor.
Just a few hours before. She
Okay.
quit because that's what they do.
I know, you've got stories.
So she filed a motion to withdraw, and then the judge wasn't going to let her. And then in the middle of the hearing, and the one I was she let her withdraw. At that point, when they withdraw, she's still sitting there, so now I'm pro se. So I was able to speak, and speak I did. So,
I can imagine. Anyway, continue on.
So now we're with Karen again back. Sorry.
That's
squirrel.
okay. I know.
Okay, so I'm still on the phone, and Karen Taylor's backing me up, and I'm sitting there in shock. I'm sitting at a McDonald's, I think in Roanoke, Virginia, listening to this, going, first time a lawyer has backed me up. And then she said to the judge, do you see how Nicole Garbus Nolan is treating her? How can she fairly represent the girls if she's this adamantly against and full of contempt for the mother of the children that are being mentally abused? And she stated, this mother, she says, I have gone through her entire case, from front to back, sideways, side to side, and she's been a victim of these courts of Iowa. And she says, and there's no reason why anyone, especially Jodi, should like any of us. That's what she said.
Wow.
She shouldn't like any judge, lawyer, or guardian ad litem because her and the children have been victimized by the courts, and she's been a true victim of legal abuse syndrome. She's been a victim of financial demise of this that she'll never climb out of, and she was excellent. And I couldn't ask for better. For her to come in at that late a time.
Right.
And at that point, she's already spent 1,900 hours at state paid.
So the state pay is what, about
60 an hour.
60 versus 250 or 225? Well,
she says, I've worked just as hard on yours as I have making that. She says, I got into this to help people like you, and you know, usually I don't trust these people, but I do trust her. I know that some of these cases are very difficult with these hostile aggressive parenting.
Right.
Very difficult for these lawyers. So if you're not willing to help them, I can see why they could fail at this. So I've been just as busy.
Right.
I've spent more than what she has getting her the evidence as well.
Anybody who knows you know that that is a true statement.
It did not even address. Well, the judge says, well, the guardian ad litem, we're trying to recuse her, right? Judge Seymour says, I've known Nicole Garbus Nolan for a long time, and she's a very good guardian ad litem, and I don't know why we'd have to recuse her. And I said, I have to interject again. We're not questioning her ability or that of a guardian ad litem. We're questioning her education in parental alienation, hostile aggressive parenting.
Right.
She has no education in this. She states she's seen the children now. She stated that in this one, and said Jodi lied, said I hadn't seen them. Well, she hadn't at the time I filed the petition.
Right.
Now she's seen them.
Yes.
She said, I even saw them without the dad in the room. Well, anyone going through parental alienation knows, doesn't matter. Dad can be
I know.
behind the shed.
Yeah.
And these kids can't be, like Dr. Craig Childress says, they can't show their authentic self.
Right, right. Isn't it Dr. Craig Childress who said that it's almost as if there is a gun held to their head?
Oh, yeah.
And that, you know, even though they're out of the room, there is this gun held to their head, that the fear that is there, that if they say anything that would contradict, whether it's a mother or a father holding the gun to their head, that they can't be themselves because they don't have the safety to know that there's confidentiality, that this is not going to be turned back to the alienating parent. So
I don't think any of these children feel safe. They're already know they have to go back into the alienator's home when she leaves.
And then alienator is a nice term.
Yeah.
Anyway, I won't drop it at that, but go ahead.
Evil. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of adjectives we could add to that.
Yeah. So she's coming up with this stuff, and once again, that shows that she has no education in parental alienation.
Right.
So I stated again, she has no education. I'm not questioning her education as a guardian ad litem. I'm questioning her lack of education in what it needs to be in.
Right.
To help these kids.
Right.
And then Nicole Nolan said, she kept saying China over and over. And I said, she needs to stop with the China. This
is not a China case. It's a FINA case.
And this is not to be offensive to people that have them, because those are false too, most of them.
Right.
I'm saying this is a FINA.
Right.
So I said,
now FINA cases are very rarely heard, is that correct?
Very rarely, yeah.
So
this would have been the first one heard in 10 years.
Okay. It was legitimate.
Yes.
But it was completely outside of her realm of any type of expertise, let alone even knowledge, by the fact that she's mislabeling it the entire time.
And she's probably never even heard one.
Right.
I don't even know. I'd love to find that out.
Well, probably not, because if there's only been one in 10 years, I'm sure that she has not had any. Well, I can't say for sure, but I would think that she hasn't had any experience in it.
I don't think so. So I stated, everyone will love this. Okay, I'm on the phone, so I'm not triggered because I don't see her reaction.
Right.
So it was perfect. I was calm as can be.
Right.
And I said, I know, Nicole Garbus Nolan, that you're used to taking children from law-abiding and loving parents in China cases and CPS cases. But this, however, is a FINA, where I've never been deemed abusive, neglectful, or unfit in any way from any CPS agency at all. So what her whole thing for the guardian ad litem, her whole job duties, her duties as a GAL in this case is to get the therapy to reunify the family. It's not to
I
sever
got it. So she doesn't even know that.
Right. If you
Wow.
read it,
Incompetence at the highest level.
right.
Oh, maybe not the highest level, but incompetence, period.
Right.
Okay.
So she doesn't even know what her duties are.
Wow.
They're completely different. And I kept trying to say this to the judge.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now the judge is questioning what Jodi seems to be. She's done her homework and she knows about the Title 4B. What is Title 4B? And I'm like, oh my God,
You can't be serious.
you got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
So I sat right next to Senator Grassley. I asked him if the Title 4B funding is for FINA. He specifically said, yes, it's for China and for FINA.
So where did you meet Senator Grassley?
In his office in Washington, D.C.,
Okay, 'cause-
just like 10 weeks prior to this.
Okay, so this was back in July that you met with him.
Right.
Okay, got it. Go ahead.
So I explained to her, I've met him. I sat with U.S. Congressman Steve King as well,
Okay, out of Iowa.
out of Iowa, in his D.C. office. Well, in Grass's office, he came in,
Yeah. No, I.
met with us. So there was like 4 of us parents in there.
Yeah.
2 of us were Iowans,
Yeah.
sitting right there.
Yeah.
And so they both said, yes, there's this funding, and Grassley knows about it. So I said, okay, kind of seems like CPS is double dipping because they're also getting the Title 4B. So they sever your, this is off base, but CPS will come in, sever your relationship, take the kids to foster care. Should the children come back to the biological parents, the Title 4B is to reunify them with the biological parents using Title 4B, even though they use Title 4E to take them.
Yeah. So
Okay.
CPS has it's a racket anyway.
But FINA is able to use Title 4B as well.
Okay.
So now, in this pre-trial conference, the judge keeps harping on the Title 4B and the funding.
Okay.
We do find out during this conference, Karen Taylor says, we found out the state will fund the testimony of Linda Gottlieb or Joni Clonis-Zenard.
Really, Linda Gottlieb?
Yes.
Wow.
They were going
Okay.
to pay for the testimony. Now,
Good.
I've already paid a retainer, and her testimony got quashed back in November of 2016.
I don't even want to ask. Continue on with this. There's so
Okay.
many different rapid trails that people won't
Yeah.
understand. But anyway,
Yeah. I think that's in another YouTube video.
it may be. Yeah. Don't remember, but go
I'm
ahead.
pretty sure. The part 1 of 5.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
so now I'm like all excited. Okay, she said the state's going to pay for the testimony because I'm
Okay.
too broke. I've spent $100,000 in legal fees already. So now,
And you've just spent $100,000 in legal fees fighting for your children,
Yeah.
who were kidnapped from you.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You had
And I
4
was
children.
primary.
You had 4 children kidnapped from you. You were given primary custodianship or whatever
2000.
in 2000. You were the parent who was there. Your ex-husband kidnapped the kids 2 at a time, and you had to
2 years
spend
apart. Yep.
over $100,000 to try to be able to see your children.
Yep, in the last 2.5 years.
Okay, and you also had,
100,000.
I'm going to just say one thing and then we'll move on. Wasn't there also a PTA lady from Texas that helped with the
Yes.
kidnapping?
Yeah, she helped with the kidnapping of the twins. You know, I'm from Iowa. The first 2 got taken from Iowa.
Right.
We moved to Texas. So
And she
for
helped
everyone watching, my order isn't like others. I can move.
Yeah.
My ex is a pilot. My children fly for free, nonstop. I mean, anytime,
Yeah.
unlimited. We told the ex we were moving. He says, I don't care. Get the F off my porch. We went several times. I said, we're going to be at my sister's for 3 months in Iowa. He never came to see him, say
Yeah.
goodbye, didn't care. We moved there. We're in Texas 9 months, and he enlisted help of a PTA lady that he's never met, never saw, and told her to take the kids to the airport.
Do you want to mention her name or do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Her name is Sharon Rhodes Lane.
Okay.
Our-
And that was in Birdswell ISD or Birdwell?
Birdville ISD.
Birdville ISD.
And she is a
So she assisted in the kidnapping. That's your
She
allegation.
was a volunteer, PTA.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and she's no longer on the PTA though.
Nope.
Okay. Well, anyway, continue on.
hope
I
this
just wanted to
doesn't
make sure that we
but
got
she's
this
from
in.
North Richland Hills, and everyone, if you want to look up her Facebook, you'll be really enlightened.
Sorry, I mean,
she has never been charged with kidnapping, harboring a runaway, enticing a minor. Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah.
has happened.
Well,
the DA's closed it.
yeah.
And it's a nightmare.
Which DA was that that closed it?
Tarrant County.
Tarrant County
And North
DA.
Richland Hills Police. North Richland Hills Police have closed it.
Okay.
That'd be Detective DeArmond.
Okay.
And Lieutenant Smead.
Good. Name them all. I'm sorry, but this is the
Yep.
way that I feel about it. Anyway, continue on.
Okay, so
And by the way, I just have to let you know that there's another friend of mine that I interviewed recently, and now her ex-husband, and she was everything she said was the truth, but because she told the truth, her ex-husband has now hired an attorney that's trying to sue her for defamation of character.
That's a lot.
So I have now, I've now put that on private. I've been threatened to be sued, you know,
God.
whatever. This is nonsense.
This will
But
be
anyway,
next, so I'm waiting, and I'll just file bankruptcy, Tim.
go ahead,
you know.
continue. I'm surprised
do
you haven't.
whatever you want,
I'm
buddy.
surprised you haven't already. But continue on.
I'm gonna have to. Okay, so we had the pretrial, like I said, over the phone.
Okay.
Judge says she's going to take everything on advisement.
And Linda Gottlieb was going to testify.
Yep. They said we will let you know if she has to testify by phone or Skype. They were trying to force her into Iowa, but she can't because she's got previous engagements
right.
and the money.
Right.
So my ex was forcing the hand and saying they have to be here, but they really don't.
Right.
And you can have that as an ADA accommodation as well.
Okay.
That you can have this done via Skype.
All
they can do
good information to
depositions
know.
on video.
All
Yep.
good information to know.
Okay.
Continue on.
So now, Wednesday, I drive all the way from Texas up to Iowa to meet with my court-appointed attorney.
Now I'm guessing it's what, 700 miles?
720 miles exactly to her door.
Okay.
And that is...
And this is not the first time you've driven from Texas to
God,
Iowa.
No, I can do it blindfolded.
Yeah, I know. It's
I've had
720 miles
15
one way.
delays,
Okay.
whether it's a mediation or... Yeah,
So at least 15 times you've driven up there for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. So this time, I drove up to do the court strategy and find out what we're going to do.
Okay.
We met with my sister and Karen Taylor. Went over everything. I told her it'll probably be dismissed. She said, I don't think so. It'll be a win-lose. You're probably going to lose the recusal on Nicole because everyone's afraid of her. And she runs the show in Des Moines, Iowa. So she says what we'll do is I'll stand in front of her so you're not triggered, or I'll sit a certain way where you don't have to look at her face.
Right.
Karen Taylor doesn't like her either, by the way.
Yeah. I don't think people understand when she says that you're not triggered. I don't think people understand how easily this stuff happens when you have been suffering this abuse.
Yeah.
I mean, people talk about PTSD. Unfortunately, they tend to think that people with PTSD are dangerous.
Right.
That's not the issue whatsoever.
You can be triggered after you've had your kids taken just by hearing your child's name somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
I see blonde-headed, blue-eyed kids, and I'm triggered, and I might cry. And
yeah, I know. I think when we talk about, I mean the same thing. Talk about grandchildren.
Right. Yep.
So anyway, continue on.
So anyway, we did our little strategy, and she was gonna call my mother and tell her, you know, what she needed from her. She was gonna be a witness as well. My mother said, I bet it's canceled. It always gets canceled, and I'm gonna lose $900 in work if it's canceled, so I need to know ahead of time. So the following day, Thursday, just 2 days ago, they filed the dismissal at 4:30, right when court closes.
Okay.
Now my mom can't get her work back and lost $900 for the following day.